All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ to all of you. Our topic is going to be short. I will do my best to keep the video very short so you guys can download it. And I'm doing this early morning broadcast for a very simple reason. First, so those who live in far Asia, they can get their chance to join us live on air and to be able to join our chat. I know not many people will be up because most of the one who listen to our program is those who live in the state maybe. uh, One of you sent me this website, and the Muslim said to this person, this lady, that there is many lies about Islam. As you see, this is an article written by Muslims, false stories about the Prophet Muhammad, false stories about the Prophet Muhammad. But what make it more funny, I'm not going to discuss, by the way, if they are false or not, because I don't really care, and I will tell you why. You see, do you see who is the one who is writing those stories? Did you notice? Ibn Ishaq Al-Waqidi Ibn Sa, Al-Tabari, and the list is so long, but those are the scholars of Islam, and those are the best of the Muslims, and those are the one who brought the history of Muhammad to the Muslims, and everything the Muslims have is coming from those people. And for sure the list is not here, by the way. The list is so long. Muslim, they accuse everybody of lying. Sahih al-Bukhari is full of lies. You can ask the Muslims, they will say to you Sahih al-Bukhari, which is the most authentic books in Islam, they say to you it's a full of lies. And that is going to tell me one thing, that Islam is a false religion. How the new generation of Islam today, they can judge the old generation of Islam yesterday, and they say those people are liars? The answer is very simple. They are ashamed of what is written about their prophet. They are in contact with different kind of civilization, and now they feel they are really ashamed of what is written about their prophet. As simple as that. And this will lead me to a very serious question. As long your scholars are a bunch of liars, and you Muslims, you are telling us that our scholars are liars, so where you learn your Islam from? You Muslims yourself. Uthman himself, the one who collected the Quran, was killed by Muslims and accused to be a false Muslim. And not only that, they buried him in the graveyard of the Jews. They refused to bury him with the Jews, with the Muslims. Sorry, they buried him with the Jews. Not only that, before they killed him, they did what ISIS do with their enemies. They were taking his hair one by one from his beard. They torture him. If those are your leaders and the one who gave you Islam, they are killed for being accused to be false Muslims. So who is the one is the true Muslims in Islam? Articles are made. Fatwa number 122534. And by the way, some of you said to me, can you show us the reference, etc.? My friend, you can freeze any of those videos and you can type exactly few words as it is, like here. Okay, just type a line and then you will find the exact reference. Like type the question as an example here: refutation of the lies about the Prophet, blessing upon him, married to Aisha when she was 18 years old. So now the Muslims are refuting Muslims, and the Muslims accusing Muslims of lying. So the first group of Muslims, they say Hadith al-Bukhari saying that Aisha, she was 6 years old, is a lie. Other group of Muslims, they say no, you are the liars, it's true. And what make it more funny that this religion is based in two sources, Quran and Sunnah. And Sunnah mean whatever Muhammad he said, order, or the companions, especially the early generation. So how we can trust such a cult which it's based in two sources, as you see, Islamic source, Quran and Sunnah. So what is the Islamic source? All Muslims agree. By the way, there is some Muslims now, the new generation, they say to themselves, oh, we are Quran only, but the Quran is a stupid book too. As an example, they say to you, well, you know, the Quran is the only book we believe in. They don't want to believe in the Sunnah no more because Sunnah is a disaster. They thought they can go to the Quran and hide behind it because the Quran is a plain stupid book. If you read here, let us see what they are saying. Read with me. Hadith is integral to the Quran, since they are inseparably linked to each other. It is impossible to understand the Quran without the reference of the Hadith. But the Muslims don't agree about the Hadith, and they keep fighting over it, and they keep denying and accepting and denying and accepting. But it's impossible to understand the Quran without the Hadith. And this is they are the one who is saying that. You see, the one is talking here, Sheikh Ahmed Kuti. How are you doing, Mr. Kuti? Nice to meet you. I hope every Kuti in the family is doing good. So it's impossible to understand the Quran without the Hadith. But the Muslims cannot understand the Quran even after the Hadith. Who said that the Muslims understand the Quran? The Quran is not a valid source. The Muslim, they just get themselves busted. You see, if Allah is God and he sent the book, and the Muslim, they said the book of Allah is the book of guidance, and now we see the Muslims saying, and they agree, that it's impossible to understand the Quran without the Hadith. But the Hadith is not trustworthy. That's mean the Quran first is not a complete message of God, because it's based on stories written in other books, and those books anyway are not authentic. Actually, the Quran itself is not authentic. The Muslims until now, they don't even have a single copy of the Quran of Muhammad. They don't even have the Quran of Uthman. Mus'haf of Uthman does not exist. They say to you there is a copy in Istanbul, there is a copy in Cairo. This is the lie. They don't have any copy. You see, if you open the Quran you have in Arabic, it says that this Quran is according to recitation of Hafs. Hafs is a person who exists 200 years after Muhammad. Recitation, not written. Recitation. They don't even have the book of Hafs. You see, if they have the book of Uthman, there is no need for the recitation of Hafs. Are you getting my point? If I say to you that this book is written according to Hafs, according to Asim, according to etc., 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 according recitation, according, not writing, according, recording, all this record, according, and then at the end you say to me according to the Prophet Muhammad. So what is the last recitation we receive from? It is Hafs. Hafs is exists 200 years after Muhammad, and nobody have his book. So the Quran is invalid. There is no reference of it. The Muslim, they were so happy because somebody, actually he is a Christian priest, he delivered a page, a leather page, and the Quran written in it, and the age of the leather, not the ink, is to the time of Muhammad. They were so excited because they have no manuscript. And now, as long Muslims agree that Islam is based on Quran and in the Hadith, and you Muslims keep accusing your own source of lying, how in the world anyone is crazy is going to accept Islam? You are the one saying to us that our scholars are a bunch of liars. You are making articles about it. You are making articles about the previous scholars that they are liars, as we see here in this case, because this article here, It says that they are lying about what? About the story of the Prophet in Sahih al-Bukhari and other books, which mean the one who made the accusation first that those books are lying, he is accusing the earlier scholars to be liars. And I will refute those people who said all those stories for us. This is your Islamic official website, Islamic question and answer, Sheikh Saleh Al-Munjid. Sheikh Saleh is going to get you busted, Muslims. In this article, not only he proved that Aisha, her age was 6 years old, look what he said at the end. You can get the article, search for it please, and you can find it. All right. Let us see what he said. All those references about Aisha age. For more information, please see the answer, etc. What is required for anyone who speak about any branch of knowledge is that he should speak on the basis of knowledge and fairness, far removed from ignorance, etc. And then he says, it is sufficient evil for a person to fabricate a view that was not uttered by any of the scholars through the centuries. This is indicate that this view is wrong. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah said, every view, guys, read carefully with me, every view is healed by only one later scholar and not by any of the earlier scholar, for which there is no precedent among any of the earlier scholar, is wrong. So the Muslims now, they just answer us and they refute each other and they get themselves busted. Anyone who accused the earlier scholar of lying, he is a fraud. Did you see it? Anyone who accused the earlier scholars of lying, he is a fraud. This is what they are saying, and this is the fatwa, and this is the name of the book. And Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah is one of the highest authority in Islam. So why they are accusing their scholars, their earlier scholars, of a fraud? Because what is written about Muhammad after filtration is shameful. And somebody will ask himself, why those scholars wrote those horrible stories about Muhammad killing, raping, etc. My friend, when the Muslims at the beginning they were writing, they were proud about this. They were proud. You see, if you go to the ISIS territory, they will not say that's not true. They are proud about it. They will quote it. They encourage their people to do the same. Those hypocrites who they are Muslims today, they are ashamed of their cult. So the only solution to get away with it to say it is a lie. But Muslims for centuries, as you see in the front of your eyes, they were proud about it. This is why none of those scholars deny those stories. When Ibn Ishaq was writing it, he was not accused by a Muslim to be a fraud, and nobody killed him. Actually, he was hired by the caliphate. The caliphate. You know what I mean? Those are, in their time, the scholars of the nation, and not a single person there even to say they are not scholars. So what happened now? What is the update? The update is that today people, they are reading, and people, they are discovering, and people, they can have a freedom to speak. And before, nobody dared to say Muhammad was a rapist, Muhammad is a criminal, Muhammad is a fraud. So anyone who disagree with the earliest scholars is a fraud. And this is the link. Anyone would like to have it, let me post it for you in the text in the chat. This is Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, and as you see here, they are refuting the Muslims who keep lying, saying that Aisha, she was not at the age of 6 when the Prophet did marry her. Go and search how many articles written by the Muslims that Aisha, she was at the age of 6. Go and see how many Muslims they say to you, oh, it's a weak hadith, it's a lie hadith, but the fact it's not. simply just because they are ashamed of what is written about their prophet. Have you ever heard of a Christian saying what Jesus said is weak? Have you ever heard of a Christian saying what Peter said is weak? I mean, why we don't have weak? Because we have nothing to be ashamed of. You see, even the Old Testament, which have stories of war and violent and etc., I never heard of a Christian saying it's weak. Why? Because we have the truth. A person who deny what is written in his book, simply he is a fraud. He have no dignity. They are not a true believers in their own books. As simple as that. I cannot stay longer because I want to keep the video short so you can download it. Just to let you know, my channel in Arabian Prophet, soon I will empty it from all the videos, which they are most of it. I will keep only a few. So if you want to download, go ahead and download and share. And I will keep this channel just for live broadcast, which means after I finish broadcast the video, I will give it a few hours for people to download, and then we will repost the videos in other channels like Arab for Christ or Christian Prince, etc. And this channel will be only for broadcast. And for, I have my reason for that. So please, after we finish broadcast, download the video, share it in Facebook, Twitter, whatever. I mean, whatever form you can allow you to have a longer video. Please do, because this is how we can keep refutation for the Muslims, and this is how you can refute them when you need the refutation. I will not be alive forever. Time will come and I will die, and I'm glad to die because I'm a believer. For our death is just a new life, not the end of life. Thank you very much for being with us. And as you see, from the mouth of Muslims, Islam is based on lies. For all those Islamic historians are the only source of Islam. So if they are the historian of Islam, and they are a bunch of liars, if Al-Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, At-Tirmidhi, At-Tabari, Ibn Ishaq, all those names, big names, are liars, who is not a liar in Islam then? The Prophet himself, my friend, he said you can lie in 3 cases. Your prophet himself is a liar. Your prophet, he promised his wives he will not have sex with the slaves, and the second day he broke his oath. Your prophet himself, he ordered you to practice taqiyya, which means you can lie and you can say, I love you, but I don't mean it. This is the truth, my friend. Just face it. Islam is a cult. However, we love the Muslims and we want to save them, and we don't want to hate them. And we don't want them to be victims of the lies of Muhammad. My friend, if you are a Muslim and listening to me, there is no heaven full of vagina and virgins. That is a lie. How come you are worried about what At-Tabari said, but you are not worried about your prophet? In the Quran, promising you women who they have nobody touch their vagina. How come you are worried about Bukhari seeing the prophet marry Aisha at the age of 6, but you are not worried about your prophet is speaking about little boys will be in the heaven serving you for eternity? Child abuse. How come you are not worried about the Quran saying beat your wife and marry 4 and and divorce as many as you wish? How come you are not worried about the Quran saying do mut'a, do killing, do hate? I mean, the Quran now is your trustworthy book is disgusting. So stop trying to escape the truth. One more thing, the logic of Muslims is very funny. If you go to chapter 3 verse number 65, it said, ye people of the book, why dispute about Abraham when the law and the gospel were not revealed till after him? Have you no understanding? Look how stupid Allah, and look how stupid the author of the Quran. If I go by this verse, I will ask the Muslim the same question. Why you are disputing today about what is revealed before 1400 years after? And just to show you how stupid the one who wrote this verse, If Muhammad saying that the one who came after Abraham, which means the one who came next, he have no right about to dispute about the one who came before. Isn't Muhammad the last one? I mean, do you see how stupid the logic? Muhammad, he just said that how you can dispute about Abraham when you are a person came, you know, your belief came after. So, but is it him who came at the end? My friend, when your prophet is a prophet, Muslims, they believe he was bewitched. When your prophet, like the Muslim, they say the story of satanic verses is a lie. My friend, it's in the Quran. It's in the Quran. The Quran says Allah, whatever a shaitan he throw in the mouth of the prophet, he will take it off. It's in the Quran. This is how funny and how silly Muhammad is and his religion. Thank you very much for being with us. Please feel free to download the video. Usually it take about 10 minutes, 15 minutes for the video to be loaded, so you can download it. Thank you very much, and may the Lord bless you. Until we see you again today around 4:30. And don't forget, this coming Saturday we have a debate with Sheikh Rohi from Al-Azhar University. He have a PhD in Islam. He is a Sheikh from Egypt, and is going to be at 4:30 p.m. Saturday, this Saturday. So be with us and tell your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. And this is a Christian Prince. Read my books, learn about the cult of Islam. You can always search for my books in Amazon.com. Just type Christian Prince books and you will see the list of my books in many languages. And my books, my new 2 books about sex and Allah, is going to be published in less than 24 hours maybe. It's already actually in publishing processing, so it's going to be in Amazon in the coming a day or a day and a half from now. Thank you very much, and may the Lord bless you all, and see you soon again. Bye-bye.